Hey, it's Russ Payton with Role Playing Public Radio. We're here playing Eclipse Phase, the 8th C, a criminal campaign. This is our second session as we are dealing with the other part of the 8th C criminal syndicate. As you have all agreed to do a job, arranged by your good friend and fixer, Steven Squawking,
solid guy,
an avian uplift in Val's New Shanghai, who has a cover job as a math tutor at the Mathnasium. He's a mathlete, but he's also a drug dealer and an async.
And incredibly high-strung.
And very high-strung.
My kind of guy.
His dual life puts a big toll on him. But you all have a huge opportunity.
Surgeon virus is a hell of a drug.
It is. Well, it's a benign strain. It's fine.
Sure.
It's fine. So there's been some big news in the solar system. Like there was a major terrorist attack in Extropia. But it turns out that the entire parts of the station were compromised. Security drones were compromised and hacked, and the guns turned on the residents of Extropia. Many people had to be restored from backup as they were sucked out into the void, and their morphs were unrecoverable or couldn't be found. Yeah, it's hard to find a body when it gets down to the same. Once it loses all warmth, and it's it's a tiny object in a very large universe.
It's like
it costs money to search.
Room temperature and vacuum is fun,
and going at a relativistic speed that will only stay stable until they get into a gravity well.
Yeah. Well, if they ever get to a gravity well. Also, it's just cheaper to re-sleeve someone than it is to send a spaceship out. Well, to send a spaceship out to search for a body.
And it's also much more humanitarian if you think about it, because if somebody lived through that or died horribly that way and they pulled the stack out and put it back into a new morph, the first part of that person's existence would probably be screaming.
Yeah, there's therapy for that, though.
Especially, there's also traumatic waking up with memories of the past 8 hours.
Yeah, it's not pleasant either.
Well, that's why I love this. And what's not treatments? Usually it's like, oh god, like have some yogurt.
Yeah. If you're in a biomorph, it turns out podmorphs cannot use drugs. They can use narco algorithms and that kind of thing, but they can't use actual drugs. So the thing is, this terrorist attack was actually a distraction. So that someone, apparently the ID crew, have been named as the culprits, the intelligent design crew, a infomorph heavy cartel of ego traffickers, the main rivals to 9 Lives, pulled off some sort of data heist. And for some reason, they were targeting the Night Cartel. The Night Cartel is another major criminal syndicate. Basically, all the old world, like Earth, organized crime syndicates, mafias, banded together and formed one big old cartel. The Night Cartel. They have their own space station, Nova York, I believe it's called. I think it's called that. It's in the main belt. It's led by the Italian mob, but there's the Russian mob's in it. There's all the old, what's left of all the old syndicates are in that one. Anyways, the Night Cartel declared war on the ID crew. And then, of course, 9 Lives joined with the Night Cartel because they really fucking hate ID crew. Because, they're the main competitors in the ego trafficking market. And then on the other side, the ID crew hired triads to help them. So it's turned into a interplanetary war, gang war, well, across the entire solar system, including on Mars. Where this is where you all come in. Stephen Squawking, through an anonymous client, has subcontracted you all out to take out some safe houses operated by the Night Cartel. This is more to deny the enemy assets than anything else, to reduce their what they can do, their resources on Mars. Hiding places and bases of operation, that kind of thing. So the other part of your cartel already went to Noctis, a city with 13 million people in it. Not so like a third of the size of New Shanghai, but still very big, more upend. And they took out a private server kept it in a high-end apartment. That was more of a stealth job, but a bit of violence at the end. It involved people being thrown through 81st floor windows. Yeah, but there's 2 other components to this job, 2 other places that you all have to hit. Martinelli Transport, a warehouse front operated by the Night Cartel in Olympus. Olympus is obviously on Mount Olympus and is basically the city built around the base of the orbital elevator. It's got a population of about 1 million. About half of those are robots. The clanky masses. Most of them are cheap. It's basically crime-ridden, industrialized. It's the horrible crime-ridden port city you imagine it to be. And they have a warehouse there. And then the next one is actually near New Shanghai, just outside of your city, a little outside in an isolated canyon. It's a secure compound called the Clubhouse. And it's off the grid. Off the official grid. So
tell me more about this clubhouse.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to know?
Well,
you have coordinates to it. You have the rough geography of it, but that's it. That's all Stephen was given, and you just have to take it offline. So that doesn't necessarily mean absolute destruction, but if you compromise it enough, then it's essentially it's like habitats on Mars. Remember, Mars technically has an atmosphere, but it's very thin and it's very cold. So even if you're in a biomorph with the mods for that, it's kind of unpleasant to be out for a long period of time. So if you do enough damage to a habitat, it's essentially total and costs more to repair than it's actually worth. So you just have to cause a lot of damage to it. And there's a lot of different ways you can cause damage to that, including and not limited to redirecting a ice comet that are continually being shot at Mars as part of the ongoing terraforming operation. To, getting a bunch of nano disassembler swarms to subtly sabotage it. Convincing Barsoomian freedom fighters that's a hypercorp elite
scheme for some reason, too. To drive them off their land.
Oh, yeah, a hypercorp Black Ops commando center. Or a black site where their comrades are being held prisoner. So you could, convince the terrorists / rebels, Barsoomians, lure. There's some. You can. There's all kinds of things you can do. So you need to make skill checks to get more information about it because it's secret. People don't know about it. There's no public information about it.
Right. So
you need to make skill checks. You need to get satellite maps of it. I mean, it's not public list of any satellite map, which means they could just have chameleon. They could have a chameleon cloak net above it to make it look like.
Can I make a research check to see what I can find off of satellite pictures, energy readings, figure out where are they getting power to this thing? How are they?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Although we're still kind of strangers to us because we didn't identify any of our characters.
Oh yeah, sorry. Very good point, Aaron. I was just from the other group. So let's go ahead and introduce your characters. Starting on my left, the most fashionable person here.
Well, I am David. As the more astute of you would have recognized my voice from such other games as just look them up. I am playing Zemo. I am the face of this group, and
All right. Very good. What are you currently sleeved in?
At the moment, I am sleeved into a self-morph.
All right. Very good.
And I'm Tom. I'm playing Laurentian Abyssal, a.k.a. Lawrence. I am the sneak thief and the owner of the front that we're using for our game.
Yes, the 8C, a sushi restaurant in a poor district in New Shanghai.
I mean, we specialize in sushi, but I have an extensive menu because I love to experiment.
Yeah, no, it's I say lower end, but it's still fashionable. I'll say it's I mean,
my level of cooking is master.
Mm-hmm. I said it's fashionable. All right, you're getting good Neo Yelp reviews.
Ooh, gotta have those.
Yeah,
poor and cred, but rich in culture.
It's a good front. And I'll say you have basically a small building and you all control that building. You pool your resources, you have that building. So yeah.
And I'm currently sleeved in an Octomorph.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who are playing RPPR Bingo, you may cross off that space.
Yep.
Oh. Hey, this is Aaron. The character I'm playing is an AGI whose original designation being brought online by the 9 Lives. That's like ego nappers that were originally for them was MA0283, which stands for Morph Assistant. He was sleeved into just a case morph in order to, and basically set to process morphs that were discarded once they were taken. That's like they were taken offline, or cortical stacks were taken out, or to help re-sleeve other members of 9 Lives back into it. He obviously was a slave, but managed to try to secretly fight for his freedom by learning as much as he could about how to assemble morphs, biomorphs as well, since they were, for the AGIs, they were a little less looked at. And eventually recovered some of his original memories, learning that he was, in fact, a SAIROC unit that was illegally forked. That's like many years ago. So he was a slave to 9 Lives, managed to escape through a biomorph, but did not realize that the Futura that he originally got into in order to escape was infected with Watts McCloud. And it was very, very new to the fact that he has his own psi powers, and it luckily managed to overwhelm his captors enough to walk out, but he's still getting to the point where the befuddlement algorithm essentially interacts with it at a certain point, and is trying to learn how to weaponize that for his own means. But he can, as now on the run, but making a living doing medical research, treatment, and morph design for people who ask for it.
All right, cool. And finally, we have...
Hey everyone, this is Greg, and I'm playing Nil. Nil is a bot jammer, former corporate freelancer who became disillusioned with life, the universe, and pretty much everything, and now identifies as a techno-artiste. That is, if Nil believed in identity at all.
Yep. And how better to transgress against society as an artist than to become a career criminal.
The crime is the art.
Yeah. It's kind of landscape art, modifying the landscape. Deleting a building is certainly could be considered a type of art. It's like a mandala.
Resculpting it.
With dissimilar swarms.
Yeah, possibly. That would be pretty artistic.
It would.
Especially if you catch it on XP.
So you have 2 targets. You need to get them both. Both can be done. So you made your research check?
I did. Okay. I rolled a 10 out of my 45.
Okay, so like I said, there's no public information, but because you know it's there, you are able to infer some things, and by looking at the satellite footage around the area, you can pick up vehicle tracks and that kind of thing. So you see evidence of the vehicle, of people coming and going there. It is sort of the land itself is owned by a shell company and marked for development, but has never been. Even though this potentially, maybe in 100 years, if New Shanghai keeps building out, this will eventually become suburbs. But everyone's speculating on land right now. The power source, just in general, with that kind of the kind of technology you have in Eclipse phase, you don't know how big the building is yet. You don't know. You need to get eyes on it, to analyze more data. So, there is something that come up. There was a mini Titan quarantine zone about 12 kilometers away. There was some sort of the Martian Rangers have marked it as a no-go zone. It's about half a square kilometer in size. There's no other public information other than stay away from this. If you cross into this mini Titan quarantine zone, you will be prosecuted.
There's just a large hollow or AR display that says "Don't."
If anybody has knowledge, Titans or anything like that, they can make a skill check. If not, I would say for free, all of you have seen these kind of things before on the map. There is a massive Titan quarantine zone on Mars, but there's anytime there's some kind of Titan incident, out in the wilderness. They just kind of, cover their ass and say, Warbot, we blew up a Warbot here. We may not have picked up every bit of scrap from that destroyed Warbot. Better mark it as a quarantine zone.
One of them might have a headhunter in it. Just don't know.
Well, I mean, that blown up headhunter, if you pick up the wrong part, it might infect you. There might be a nanovirus, embedded in it. So who knows? So, but potentially, if you could find some Titan tech, some really virulent stuff, and then introduce it to the clubhouse, that's a good way to compromise the safety of the place. But I mean, that's playing with fire. It's kind of like picking up a stick, sticking it in an anthill, and running to someone that you don't like, and hoping the ants don't crawl up and bite you on the arm. So that's a very risky but potentially satisfying thing. So that's with a basic research check. Y'all can do something. Lawrence, what kind of thing do you want to do to help figure this out? You can also call in favors. Favors work like skills, but you have 3 minor, 1 moderate, 1 major. So
see if I can find someone like in the criminal organizations on Mars who has dealt with that place and maybe the delivery there.
So a G-Rep favor?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do it at minor, moderate, and major. That will give you more information per obviously.
I go moderate.
All right, you roll G-Rep at base. No modifier.
6.
6? Okay. You find someone who's willing to tell you about it. He gives you a verbal description of a habitat that's sort of set up, that's about 2 stories tall. Inside it's sort of a think it is called the clubhouse because it's thinking like country clubhouse, like where they have parties where they want to get away at all, but it's also a safe house in case, oh God, someone's trying to kill me, better hide out here.
Let's go to the party place.
Yeah, so it has fairly impressive. It is designed more for pleasure and subtlety than like a fortified.
So it's not a fortress.
It's not a fortress. It does obviously have some armed security that he noticed, but the walls are not hardened. They any more than a standard habitat would be.
It doesn't really need to be because most of the secrecy involved around the place makes it to where if you have a fortress in the middle of nowhere, people are going to notice that a little bit more than if you have a habitat in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Certainly, the more defenses you have, the more energy output you have. Apparently, also, he does mention that he had to have a password to get past the planetary consortium. Again, the Martian Rangers, which keep the wilderness sort of in check. Maintain a network of drones and surveillance devices to keep an eye on everything, and mostly to check on those pesky Barsoomian terrorists / freedom fighters. I would keep mentioning. He said he had to give a new password to disable the defenses, so they've apparently bribed or controlled the local grid to kind of help cover their tracks. So there's a dirty Martian Ranger. Yeah. So that's something to think about. Let's see here, SAIROC or Nil. Do either of you want to make a skill check for your initial analysis?
Let's see. We're going to do a research check around for any odd things that were coming in and out of the clubhouse itself. Something or
that's not because that's not public information. You'd have to. Now, you could do a research check based on the description this guy gave you to identify exactly what model of habitat they're using.
That's fine. I'm happy to do that. So.
And then you can make hardware checks to figure out how to sabotage it.
All right. All right. God, these dice are already starting today.
Okay.
99 critical failure. So but it's a knowledge check. It's so I don't get anything.
That could be a real thing. It's like, no, you got it. But I'm not. I mean, you could spin a point of flex and make it a regular failure.
I think it's already start off like that, so I already have only 1 flex, though. So.
Well, you can restore them, though.
Oh, that's true. So,
you can recharge them.
Yeah. That's true. You know what? At this point, let's make it interesting. This is already a SAIROC beginning, so you want to give me?
All right. Yeah. No, you got it. You can make hardware checks to ID it.
Okay.
So, do you have any hardware checks?
Let's see. Actually, no, I don't. So I'd have to pass it off to somebody else who does.
Anybody in this group have hardware?
Oh, yeah.
Hardware robotics.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Take it.
Sweet.
Just going to follow my head.
Lawrence, you don't have any hardware skills?
I have none.
Lawrence?
I do not. What's that?
Do you have any
hardware?
hardware?
I do not.
Okay.
Bot 3.
Okay.
Nice.
You know the kind of robots they would use for this habitat? They come as a part of a package, so you know how to hack them.
Okay, great. That was actually what I was going to go for. I was going to try to figure out what their maintenance routine and assets were, so I could try to take advantage of that. So that's perfect.
Yep.
Beautiful. So I think we've got a plan.
You know this is going to be fun.
Yeah. So you can make knowledge if anybody has security ops, if anybody has...
I have security ops.
Okay.
44, crit success.
Okay.
Nice.
So, yeah, taking out a habitat like this is certainly doable, but it depends on like what kind of approach you want to do. So,
Because I don't think none of us quite have the gear or the will or the skills to do a full-out assault on it.
No, frontal assault is a bad idea. But on the other hand, something a little bit more subtle.
There's a couple different ways you can get it. Now, you've only gotten indirect recon, so you kind of need to get better recon. Better recon can really help. So if you could talk your way to get at least visual, like direct visual a look on it, you can get much better analysis on it. Obviously, if you can talk your way in, then you can. It's a lot better than if you try and attack them outside the walls.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
My thought is I would like to possibly, and tell me if you guys agree with this, I can get eyes on it, I can TACnet, and you guys can see all of the things that I see. So if I speak to the right person, get an invitation, and hobnob my way into one of the parties that they throw out here at the clubhouse.
Well, because you got a critical, I'll give you even more information. So one thing you already know is you actually don't have to talk to anybody from the Night Cartel because you know that there's a dirty Martian ranger out there. And if you get the password from him, you can get into the building. And if you get to the building, you could say, someone from the night, you could just lie and be
Walt
like,
sent me.
yeah, look, I had the password. I clearly got in. So I must be fine. Then you have to think about, they're probably not going to have any parties right now. You also know that because they just declared war on another major criminal syndicate.
No, it's not the time for partying.
So they're probably actually going to be there hiding out. So they're probably going to be, the security's going to be ramped up, and there's going to be some extra, there are going to be more gunmen and shit there than there would be otherwise. Because, they even if they're VIPs or nice morphs and have nice backup services, they don't want to they don't like getting killed either. So the second part of the equation is how do you want to do it? There are multiple ways you can do that. One, explosives. Obvious.
Does anyone have any exploding skills?
Yeah, demolitions, I think, is an active skill. So that would be one way. Two, if you have programming and you can get access to nanoswarms, you could introduce disassembler swarms.
And I can do that, so.
And that's obviously much more subtle. The disadvantages for that are that they would definitely have nanodetectors and guardian swarms to guard against that kind of attack. So you would have to hack your way to disable them. And then it takes time that nobody detects the hack to let the disassemblers to have time to do their work, because it would take them hours.
Yeah. And I also have InfoSec as well, and I'm not sure if...
What's your InfoSec at?
70.
Man, we're
60.
Mine's at 80, so we got some hackers.
So,
on the team.
and probably a place like this, you're not going to be able to hack remotely. You're going to have to get on site. So, you would have to get it.
I could sneak in, and he could talk his way in.
Yeah, so that would have to be 2 points of entry. You probably have to make hard point hacks.
My infiltrate isn't great, but I'm small.
Well,
and I can fly.
hold on, there are other ways.
Yep.
You're a dragonfly, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
There are a couple other ways. As I mentioned, two other ways I did mention. Well, three other ways I just mentioned off the bat. Ice Comet, you could literally hack or bribe somebody at the Terraforming Authority to redirect a small ice comet to fucking just fall on there. That's very definitive. And of course, you just have to have somebody on site or to go up afterwards to make sure you fucking hit it. Two, then the second one is obviously convincing Barsoomian freedom fighters, again, more of a social thing, that this is a black site and that their comrades are, in which case you just have to fake a bunch of data of your comrades being held there. And then you have a big ass fight between them, and that sheer amount of gunfight and shit is something that one Martian Ranger can't hide. Martian Rangers show up in force, and it's ruined as a safe house.
Yep.
The third option, though, is the one I mentioned, the Anthill one, which is luring Titan tech into the clubhouse. Even if it's dormant, just the idea of Titan tech is going to ruin it as a safe house. So you could get something that's actually not dangerous at all, but part, like literally part of a piece of twisted scrap metal from a headhunter, throw it in there, and if they ID it as a headhunter, they're like, oh God, it's coming right for us. So those are the things. Those are multiple options of where to you. So things you can do in here to make it easier is one, compromise somebody or at the Night Cartel. Obviously, they're going to be on high alert, high value targets because they're at war. They're going to have bodyguards hired, that kind of thing. Two, get to the Martian Ranger, less guarded, but he is a cop. So he's a cop who works out in the wilderness. So.
And I would almost be interested to see what information we can get on that because, bribing through Rep or Krezra can be done. If he is, let's say, a bad lieutenant type, as Bartons, I have pharmacology. I could make some drugs for him. So, and see if we can bribe him.
You can counter bribe him, yeah.
So.
Okay, so you'll come up with the carrot. I think that I can come up with the stick. Which of those routes do you think that we should go for social engineering-wise? Which one do you think is going to be the easiest? Talk our way into the ice drop? Talk our way into the Crooked Ranger? Or find Barsoomians?
We've got an in with the Ranger angle, since we already know a Ranger who is morally compromised. If we go the Comet angle, we have to find someone who is morally compromised or morally compromise them.
Well, see, that might not be as hard as we're thinking just because of the fact that you have bored terraform techs who are constantly guiding these nano-disassembler swarms to do what they want to. And, it's... I kind of relate it to Fry blowing up the planet and just being everybody completely bored by it. So if we give them enough right now, that might be easy. So
yeah, but is boredom worth their job?
True. Or there's another method as well.
Well, no. The just so you know about the ice comet thing, terraforming is a big political controversial thing, obviously, because there's people who live out in the remote section. The poor people, obviously, and the rebels and the dissidents, they don't like the terraforming because for some weird reason they just accidentally keep hitting their shantyvilles with ice comets and shit like that.
Oops.
Or miners who strike for better rights and shit like that. Oops, dropped a comet on you, didn't mean to. Some people think that it's just wasteful because ice is valuable now, especially in space. Three, obviously, it's going to be each ice comet is worth a lot of money. And so, and they have to be dropped somewhere, but redirecting one, basically, this is probably more like you would have to bribe someone to get you onto the crew of a comet, and then you cut off a piece and aim it at the parts of your choice, which you certainly can do. But
so that could be another one.
That would be the easiest way to do that, actually, because otherwise, if you want to pay someone to do the whole thing, that's adding more people to your criminal conspiracy.
Let me see about. Well, there's might be another way to do that, but let me check on my side.
So yeah, if you want to do a quick couple of scenes in space in Mars orbit and fucking drop a comet on them, that's something we can do. That actually sounds
dropping a comet or literally deconstructing the facilities sound the most spectacular.
Okay,
especially the comet.
And because and definitely we seem to have a plethora of hacking talent on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is going to be the one that's going to require the most hacking? Because just to throw it in there, we've got a 60, a 60, a 70, and an 80.
And the 80 has a infiltration of 90.
There you go.
I mean, that would probably be in the nano swarm sabotage thing, but yep. That's only going to put your morphs at the most risk. Well, I mean, the ice common thing. The ice common thing actually isn't that risky unless you fail a couple free fall checks or something, because then you're going to go into re-entry. But, that's a different thing.
That is true. But yeah, if we can get on the crew, or at least a couple other ones, something else that might be more worth it is that I took the ability on my Gamma Psi slides of induce error. So we could be a legitimate part of the crew or get on there, and then somebody just makes a mistake. Somebody just says, whoops, wrong button. And then it goes down.
I mean, that's basically, that's what I was saying. It's like you would like accidentally cut off a slice.
But I make sure somebody else does it, and our fingerprints are not on it at all.
Well, that would mean taking someone over or framing. So framing somebody or actually taking them over.
So, and that's to do.
So actually, you could actually dovetail this in with the beginning of your next job too, because the best way to get onto the orbital cruise for the comments is through the Olympus, because you open the orbital elevator to work on them. So, you could head to Olympus right now if you want to.
Okay.
So let's talk about
research. You could do research on the comet stuff easily, because that's very public.
Okay, I'll do that.
I was going to say, why don't we take a look into this warehouse while we're heading that way?
Okay.
Because if we can take out the warehouse and then go up into space and then drop the comet on the country
clubhouse,
clubhouse.
There's public information about Martinelli transport.
And I mean, a success 42 out of 50. So.
Okay.
And that is a 15 on my research to find out about the warehouse on our way there.
Okay, so you're finding about Comet, like getting on a Comet crew?
Yes. So
Comet's basically the Planetary Consortium pays spacers to go out and get comets from the main belt, which is far away, put them somewhere near Mars orbit, and then basically crews go onto the comet, strap on rockets to get them into position, and then fire them off. If the comet's too big, they cut them up into pieces and then fire them off. So this is basically blue-collar work, and there's always the need for more work, because obviously it's very risky. People lose a lot of morphs if they're not very good, or if the equipment malfunctions, because there's a bit of cost cutting with a lot of this stuff. Yeah. Because the idea, they have to do this for like a century to really make it Earth-like. So they're not spending too much. They're trying to make
cut corners as much as possible to get to the result fast.
So with a 42, you get a superior success. So there's applications, and all of you basically are qualified because you're willing to do it, and you have your own morphs. Awesome. Here's your vac suit. Here's your liability waiver. Get the fuck up there. The AIs will tell you what buttons to push on the thing. So basically, you actually don't need to make skill checks to do the basic work. You only need to make skill checks when something goes wrong, and things all frequently go wrong. And obviously, if you're trying to sabotage one to redirect somewhere, that's going wrong. So superior success, I'll give you either answer on how to get on a comet crew and get the other, because there's like 12 people on a crew. You're not going to be on a crew by yourself.
Yeah. No.
Get a crew on your side easily, or help solve the problem of, okay, we're up here. How the fuck do we get this onto the clubhouse?
I'm going to go with getting the crew on our side, because if nothing there, as long as we can integrate with them, we can take their knowledge, we can actually benefit from their knowledge and ultimately find the person
I can win them
who can
over.
take it.
Well, who knows? We might even find someone who's a sympathizer with anti-corp sentiments.
Well, yeah, for the Barsoomians. So, I think that will still come into play, but ultimately I feel that's like having them on our side first would be better.
Well, he would be the one to make the pitch.
Yes.
Obviously, Zemo would be the one to make the pitch. The way you pitch is like, hey guys, you actually give them a lie that's believable. Like, hey, we're totally not from a planetary consortium goon squad here to go take up some asshole Barsoomians. Because most of these blue collar workers are like, yeah, fuck the Barsoomians making trouble for everybody. So I'm just trying to earn an honest buck, get out of indentured. So you pretend to be a Black Ops Death Squad, and then you actually spend some creds, calling some favors to give the crew better equipment for this job, like upgrade the rockets, upgrade their vac suits, and shit like that. And then their job is a lot easier, and they're going to be a lot safer. And then your job is a lot easier because you have better equipment to work with.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I would.
But then you all have to insinuate that you're killing some poor, like you're killing Barsoomians or miners or some other poor dissidents. Like you can't tell them the truth, but they'll believe that you're here to kill some Barsoomians. And if for some beer and some better gear, they'll look the other way.
All right.
So that's the first. You have to get the gear, and then you have to figure out then you can make your pitch. But you need some gear first, and then of course you have to solve the physics problem, which is how to get giant block of ice inside Clubhouse. But meanwhile, Martinelli Transport. So you get there's public information on that. So you get the public schematic of the warehouse. Basically, orbital elevator is where all the shit from orbit comes down to Mars. That's the cheapest way to do it. Spaceships going up and down. That's done, and certainly rich people do that. But like this is where the freight comes in and out. So ostensibly, it's that moving ore and things, raw commodities up and down the elevator.
Yeah, it's much easier to launch it into space from almost in space than it is to launch it into space from somewhere closer to the planet's gravity.
Yeah. So orbital elevators are just scales of difference in terms of efficiency than just using a good old fashioned engine rocket. But you also get the fact that there's basically you get cyber next door reports, localized mesh reports of this neighborhood that complement it. And like property values around are actually like 20% higher than the average, which are still very cheap because people notice like it's very quiet. There's no shootings. There's no violence in this neighborhood. I like it. So
that means that there's probably a hardened security force there.
Do you have any knowledge skills about criminals? Cartels, underworld, black markets, that kind of thing.
Let's see, I've got law, black markets.
All right, yeah, Actually, black markets is very appropriate.
That is a fail.
Okay. You can spend a point of something to flip it if you have a Moxie.
Well, if I take it from a 67 to a 76, that's not going to do it.
Fair enough. All right, it's fair. For free, I'll say, because you have black market trained, that this is probably where the Night Cartel operates black markets or like does some actual trading there for black market goods. So that's probably one of the reasons why it's so peaceful, because you don't fucking start shooting when the Night Cartel's there, because, they'll get you.
On the other hand, that also makes it easy enough to take the place out, because the reason why a black market is great is if you keep it a secret. And if we basically paint a great big sign over that goes, "This is a black market," that'll...
Well, the problem about Olympia, I'll also say for free, Olympus, is the cops there, the Olympian Transit Authority, the OTA, are notoriously corrupt. Even by Martian standards. They're so corrupt. They're so dirty. So they're 100% on the take. And that is probably another reason why it's so peaceful in this square block around this warehouse.
Okay, so we can't get past the dirty cops because there's way too many of them. We can't nuke that site from orbit.
I'm saying, like, you can't get... They're not going to be there guarding it, but that's why you can't call the cops on them.
Right.
But you can't... They're not going to be cops watching it. Like, they are paid to look the other way. So
this would be a good place for a gunfight.
Yeah,
but
none of us are gunny.
Well, does anybody have any other knowledge skills you want to use to figure out solutions for Martinelli Transport?
Would a knowledge law be of any use?
Actually, yeah, I'll give you a law.
Security ops.
Security ops too.
Security ops are probably very good. That's also going to be a... Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay.
56.
Is that a success?
It is.
All right. It's a superior success too. So security ops. are you wanting more concerned about what kind of security you have there, or are you trying to figure out ways to take it down?
Ways to take it down.
Trojan horse. You fake a cargo shipment, and there's something bad in the cargo shipment. Either, again, explosive, disassembler swarms, fake Titan artifact. Because, again, just the fear of quarantine would compromise it.
Hey, does this container smell like Skynet to you?
Yeah, exactly. So that's an obvious route. The less obvious route is to find... Night Cartel does not own Olympus. They have a warehouse there. So, there are Martian gangs that have a lot more skin in the game, so to speak. So you could find a local rival, a local street gang, and use them as your pawns, give them a bunch of guns, and then they'll basically hire your own team of Shadowrunners to go and get them. So they get got.
I like this one.
Yeah.
I like this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
So you could run your own team and subcontract yet again. Of course, that's going to cut down on profit, but it'll get the job done. Because you have a superior success, I'll give you one more option, which is infrastructure. If you can get access to the infrastructure schematics, you could figure out a way to these industrialized warehouses. It's a warehouse district. There could be a way to blow it up through basically the post-human, transhuman equivalent of a gas leak.
Where would these blueprints be kept?
Servers in the city database. You just have to get to the city. You can hack it. It'd be infosec checks, but
why don't we do that one?
There's our hack. Come on, guys, let's go make a hacking difference.
Yeah. Another thing. Yeah. This is. So you could, overload the power, compromising for a while. You could actually, if you have access to the infrastructure, you could also fake a Titan attack. You don't have to do an authentic Titan thing. You could just
set off the Titan raid whistle.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nil.
Can I use springboarding off that? Can I use freelancing to see if there are any jobs that they're looking for or wanting to outsource that would provide a good cover for infiltrating that facility?
The warehouse or the...
Martinelli Transport.
Martinelli Transport. Okay. Sure. Give me a roll.
11. Crit success.
Okay. They need a team for an escort mission of sensitive and delicate cargo. Which with an 11 is you realize how they sort of word Titan artifacts.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's one of the biggest black market illegal smuggling things on Mars. Again, massive Titan quarantine zone, massive demand for Titan artifacts. Like, for example, and not even just shit for corporations to research and build better technology. There's little crystal globes that you can just snort and you get high. And people don't know how they work, but people like getting high. So there's people who just get big bags of these crystal globes so you can just fucking get high on Titan whatever.
Are we escorting this to the facility or from it?
Apparently to the facility.
Okay.
So
it'd be awesome if it came from the facility, because then we could just run it to the second site.
Well, that would expose us pretty well.
Olympus and Shanghai are pretty far apart. I mean, with 11, I could say it could be from the facility, but that would be hard for you to destroy the warehouse and then go to the clubhouse with this deadly cargo.
That's fair. Yeah. And the whole point was getting into the facility. So.
Yeah. Although we do have another option too, I haven't dealt with Wasp McCloud that much, so you can say that because as a physical virus. But if we could get our hands on some random biomorph or even a pod. And I could, without a cortical stack, I could give it a marker for Watts McCloud from my own side, and then dump it off to the side.
Watts McCloud isn't normally detected, like I said.
I was going to ask, so I was looking.
I mean, you're still walking around and you aren't setting off Titan technology.
True.
Sensors.
So I was thinking,
hardened military sensors, basically Watts McCloud is not public knowledge. Most people aren't aware of it, so they don't know how to scan.
Okay, I'm still playing on a firewall level, so...
you know about it, and you all know about it, because I assume you told them or something, or or Steven Swalking probably told them about that, because he is also an async.
Okay. That wouldn't... Yeah, that's not a consideration for it. So, yeah, we could probably do that, but At the same time, though, it's kind of countermanding our other plan to drop the drop the comment on the facility as well. So it's kind of one or the other that we probably should be looking at. So not a bad idea either, too. But
you could also with a critical. You could also the easiest way to do this, you could just leak info to a rival group and have them, like Zone Stalker gangs. There are gangs that just go in there and steal Titan artifacts. You could tell them that there's a juicy cargo at this warehouse. Give them the data because you're the one who transported it, and then just try and disable some of the fences and just sit back and watch the fireworks.
I like that plan. We get the job. We take the thing in. And as soon as we take the thing in, I call up a couple of the bully boys in the neighborhood, and they take out the warehouse trying to get the thing.
We don't fire a shot. We just skip town and head on to Site B.
By the time we are up in space and dealing with the asteroid, the first objective will have been completed by our unwitting pawns.
I like it.
Yeah, again, you don't have to do total physical, scorched earth here. Just, even if the cops are dirty, they're not going to overlook a Titan outbreak or a suspected one. And certainly Night Cartel doesn't need... They're going to slink away. They're going to, walk away from it. So, which is what you have to do. All you have to do is get them to walk away from each side.
Yeah, we don't have to blow the site up. We just have to make it unusable to them.
All right, so with an 11, you can get the job. Because you're trustworthy, apparently.
You seem trustworthy.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
So,
You're totally not a terrorist.
Louis Martinelli.
Cross my wings.
Yeah. Contacts you. Says, excellent. I've been needing some skilled freelancers. Get over to the site. It's outside Olympus. They just feeling a little... Normally we have our own people doing it, but we just want extra backup because you never know where the ID crew is going to hit us next. They have their enforcers in town. And he's been hitting some of our places pretty hard. Watch out for Hollywood. His whole specialty is he's a master hacker who compromises nearby synth morphs and uses them as suicide weapons against targets. So
And that's a horrible thing.
yeah.
Any other
Calls it casting. It's your big break.
Oh, we're going to have to hurt that man.
Yeah. Well, he's an infomorph, or it's an infomorph, and very best hacker I've ever detected. Very slippery. So just get the package here. We'll take care of the rest.
Any other specific threats we should be aware of?
That's the only one. I mean, other than the fact it's a coffin-sized container of something. There's two zone stalkers babysitting right now. They'll help you walk it in. So play nice.
Understood.
I'll give you a handshake protocol so they don't shoot you.
Excellent.
So. You go. This is while you're en route to Olympus. You're in a hover car that's just zipping along the highways, autopiloting away. So you tell it to go off the road go outside Olympus. It's this is off the planetary highway system. Your safety cannot be guaranteed if you leave this highway.
Do you want to know more?
Would you like to know more?
So,
rerouting.
No, understood. So understood.
Sign waiver.
Undergood. Continue now.
Does anyone have any piloting groundcraft or anything like that?
No, sir.
I have space. Dang it.
All right. That'd be good for the comet job.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it continues piloting, but it's noticeably rougher. So you continue on.
What's the default for pilot? Ref.
Yeah.
I could try it at a 15.
I mean, the vehicle is piloting itself at 30 or 40, so
I think we're okay.
yeah.
We wouldn't do much better.
You would do worse. 15.
Worse or better?
Worse. We just went over this. So you get within a kilometer of the site. Again, this is the Martian outback. It's cold. It's thin. It's red. It's dusty. You all have, if you have smart clothing, you can put up within the back suit.
Yep.
Let's see. So you're in a dragonfly.
Yeah,
you're
I'm a
in
synthmorph.
A future.
You're in an octomorph. What kind of clothing suit are you wearing, Tom? Sorry, Lawrence.
Hard suit.
Hard suit?
Or like I think I took like the actual body armor type.
Okay. What gear packages did you pick?
I have it's these covert ops and criminal.
Covert Arps and Criminal?
The smart clothing's under the criminal.
Yeah,
package.
so not seeing any other armor on that.
Okay,
that's fine. That's
the chameleon cloak
sport
appears to do
clothing
the same
with armor
thing.
vest. Yeah. You get a chameleon cloak, covert ops. Yeah, you don't have a hard suit. You just have armor clothing.
Well, I don't need it.
Smart clothing.
I have a natural chameleon cloak.
Okay. Well, if you swap it out, that's 2 GP. You can take something else if you want to. But
Yeah, I'll do that
okay.
later.
Okay. So for now, you still have smart. So let's see here. And Zemo, you were probably also in smart clothing too. So. All right. Yeah. So your smart clothing is keeping you for all of you. Yeah, 3 of you are biomorphs, so it's cold. Unless you have enhanced a cold tolerance or whatever.
Not a holder.
Yeah. So. But yeah, you're a drive-by, you're a robot, fine. You get the handshake message kilometer away. You give it so they don't, declare you an enemy and start shooting you.
What kind of bots are these that are escorting the?
They're zone stalkers. You don't know what they are.
Oh,
they didn't give a description other than the handshake protocol. So the 2 figures in heavy armor wearing cloaks and come out. Both are carrying very large guns. They just call themselves Delta and Echo, and refer to you. You're our backup. Who speaks for you?
I do.
Request to join your TACnet for efficiency purposes.
I'll open it up.
Okay.
For me only.
Okay. Well, you can't be on their TACnet then.
I would disconnect from that in this RP, so that's...
Okay. Like, TACnet is, shared with everybody, or it's shared. So you joined their TACnet. Like, all right, we're not... I'm only getting you. Who are the other 3?
The other 3 are with me. We tend to net up as a crew. You needed me to TACnet in with you, so what's going on?
Well, we're all working together to bring this package in. But no, I understand.
I like my privacy.
All right, fair enough. You all appear to be kind of lightly armed. That's a civilian vehicle, and you're like very smart clothing. Not even like full back suits. What weapons do you even have?
Small arms.
Huh.
Is anybody packing something heavier?
I got blades.
Okay.
We've got a stabdipus.
Huh. Okay. Well, I guess this is a rush job. Do you have a civilian vehicle? I guess we can attach the package as a. They have the package as a on its own little wheels. If we're going to go in the city, it's probably less conspicuous if we attach it to your vehicle as a hitch.
So we figured this might be that's like easier to get around. So look like some tourist that's like moving into the city.
Tourist moving. Okay, so I see. Less obvious. Okay. Do you have any threat profiles for us to look at? We've been out in the shit for a while. We've heard something about a gang war going on, which is why we need this.
So certainly
we haven't rejoined the MASH yet.
Okay, so I'm going to use my deception or my deceive skill.
Sure. Yeah. So what lie are you feeding them?
Here's the tricky bit. The enemy is 9 live. Well, actually, wait, no. The enemy is the ID crew. They are notorious for stealing faces and using them. So that's why we've got handshake protocol. We've got a variety of different morphs so that it will be harder for them to snatch. Here's the thing. We don't know what the enemy looks like because they could be literally anybody. We don't know what the enemy sounds like because it could be literally anybody. All we know is that somebody who does not give the handshake protocol is a potential threat, which means everybody that you meet who is not one of us is a potential threat. That's why speed is of the essence, and that's why we need to go as quickly as possible. We didn't take time to get specialty equipment fabbed up. Mm-hmm. We're kind of shooting from the hip here.
All right, give me a roll.
And I am going to spend one of my Moxie to flip that, because I rolled an 86, which is just over my deceive, so it's now a 68.
All right. That beats his kinesics roll, so he believes he's like, well, your vehicle isn't big enough to carry all of us. It looks like if the Dragonfly flew, we'd still be a passenger short. It can fit 4. And there's 6 of you here. So if you stay here for a bit, one of us can go and get some motorcycles. We have a Rover stashed nearby. We can ride that slowly, and if we're tacking it at you, we can keep an eye on the package.
That works. We'll put the Dragonfly in the air, and if I need to ride on the package itself, I will.
No. We'll get a Rover, and we'll be tailing you from a distance. But we'll just it'll take about an hour for Echo here to get it. So we just sit tight for an hour.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's also why we brought a deck of cards.
Okay. An actual deck of cards?
A synth deck of cards. A simul deck of cards.
A simul space? Well, I don't want
to... we had a maker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's like we got it.
This is...
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to bring my actual Earth set of playing cards. Insane.
Yeah. That's in the bank.
So Echo goes off running. Just running at top speed into the distance. Disappears quickly. The wind starts kicking up a bit. Visibility drops. It's not quite a sandstorm, but it's at this point, everyone, give me a perception check.
Gotcha.
I do not see.
Okay.
There.
Do you see? Do you see?
Perceive. There it is.
1.
Okay.
33.
Okay.
2 crits.
All right.
I do not see.
Okay. Zemo, Lawrence, you both see something in the distance. Something moving just at the edge of visibility.
You see that thing ahead?
Both of you, one does not crit, actually.
Okay, so
it still
succeeds. So okay.
Yeah, 100 is always a critical success. 99 is always a critical failure.
And I also have radar for what that's worth.
Okay. Radar stops working very well because of the sandstorm, the dust storm, sorry. So you two see something at the edge of your visibility, something moving, just a blur, a dark blur that flits between the rocks. You're sort of in a rocky area. There's a lot of, it's not just open plain. The two of you that succeeded swear that something, the package looks slightly different than it did. With a 33, yeah. There's one of the key panel has moved like 1/10 of a centimeter, like 2 millimeters to the left. Yeah, give me a will save. Will times 3.
So, that's actually a good answer.
That's
no,
fair.
you only he.
Oh, he's using that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That is 2 stress.
2 stress.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
If a synth morph gets hacked and puppeted, does the hacker have access to their knowledge, or do they just control their motor functions?
They do get access to knowledge, but that takes psychosurgery to really extract. You can't just do a control F, find password, whatever. So that takes a lot of time to psychosurgery someone.
Okay, so mainly it's just
to control
possession.
I mean, they could copy the ego for later analysis, the psychosurgery, but that yeah.
Okay.
You might have an algorithm now, so just might. So
that being
wrong?
That being the case, maybe we should come up with a password so that if I get puppeted, the Hollywood won't have time to go through my archives and figure out what that code word is. That way, if I engage with you guys, then you can know whether or not Nil is acting under its own influence.
I would say that's not a bad idea, but now that just out of character, now that it's happening though, so
But you don't know what's happening.
So okay, so
well, I mean, you got a basic success. You think that something about the package looks
wrong.
You know exactly what changed.
Okay, and I'm going to.
And you two thought you saw something in the distance.
What's that?
All right, Delta raises its weapon up and starts scanning. What? I didn't see something.
Are you sure?
I didn't. I wasn't looking that direction. What is it?
I don't know.
I saw movement over by those rocks.
It was definitely moving.
All right, you said you're a scout. You go check it out.
I never said I was a scout.
Well, you're an Octomorph, right?
Yes, I never said I was a scout.
Well, Octomorphs are all scouts.
That is just.
You're hidden concern, aren't you? You're just hidden concern freelancing, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Lawrence, would you please check the rocks?
Would you kindly?
Well, then I'm sneaking my ass over there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lawrence.
So 90. So I have a 90.
Sure.
30 and 36.
Okay, so you're going out there. Give me a perception check. -10.
100.
Okay. There's nothing out here.
Like. Oh.
Yeah.
Skitter highlight. Yeah, okay. I was completely, totally wrong. There is nothing there. We are good to go.
Meanwhile, while that's going on, what are you doing, and what are you doing?
Would you assist? This panel looks like it moved.
So, well, something looked off on there. So, take a closer look at it just to see another
So do I.
perceive check. Or
Are you pointing out exactly what is wrong with it?
Yes.
Okay. You can actually pull up your own memories and cut that out and show that it moved 2 millimeters to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be actually something physical then. This is highly disturbing if this is actually accurate. So from my memories, does it look like it moved? Or is it...
Give me a Cogtoms 3 check.
Okay. Yes, 17 out of 60.
Yeah.
So it did move.
Yeah.
I don't suppose engineering would explain what just happened.
Unless this is just
Sure.
sort of. So yeah, if it's made up of some sort of metamaterial, maybe. But honestly, this is not good.
28 success.
Okay. Yeah. Metamaterials, smart materials. You could make something that does that. I mean, what the fuck is this though? They pull it out of a Titan quarantine zone. So this could, if it's already... Also, there's people looking around. There's something moving out in the perimeter. And then that's when you're caught up. Lawrence says there's nothing out here. So Delta's like, what are you two doing next to that? You should stay away from it. It's dangerous.
We have concerns that whatever you're holding in here is actually altering the physical parameters of the containment box.
Well, you're not paid to inspect it. You're paid to guard it.
No, but we are paid. That's like that. Granted, that's what we want to be paid for, but we also want to make sure it's not going to engage and maybe break out.
It's not your problem. It'll be fine.
Nil is assessing a potential threat to the job.
I was like, I think it is my problem.
If it doesn't get to the warehouse, none of us get paid.
It's true. So...
You know, it also prevents all of us from getting paid if whatever is in that box decides to eat our faces.
When Echo gets back, Echo
Is
will
the
check
thing
it.
inside that box
So,
going to potentially
I think,
eat our face? Because I like my face where it is.
Honestly, maybe.
I think that we
And
should.
so-
Are you an expert in Titan weapons technology?
No, but Neil is an expert on boxes, and he says that there is something off with that box.
Honestly, okay, well, unless you're an expert in Titan's weapon technology, then there's nothing we can do.
So unless we call Echo back and
Echo's out of range right now. We have to wait for another 23 minutes, and then Echo will be back in range, and Echo can check it.
So
Everyone give me a will times 3 check, because now everybody knows.
58.
Crit fail.
68 made it.
Okay.
Wait,
Who else
your will?
failed?
75.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody maxed out on will.
I rolled a 25 out of...
Did anybody else fail?
Nope.
So just you?
Crit fail.
3?
Three first?
Yeah. Nothing directly has happened, it's just the implication.
I'm playing an async. I'm trying not to go insane.
Just the idea that we're basically sitting
How's
on a
your brain?
bomb
Is
Yeah,
your brain okay?
yeah.
that none of us knows how to do.
Delta says Echo's the expert on this stuff. Echo said it was good. Echo gets back. Echo could check it. I don't know enough about this stuff to be able to try and make it safer. If we blow it up now, 1, that may not even work. 2, we definitely don't get paid.
That's like
3, did you bring explosives? Because I was told that the threat was something entirely different that was not an explosives worthy.
Well, you're new to zone stalking then. Like, this is always part of the job with zone stalking.
Then I may suggest one of us try to get in calm range of Echo to let them know.
Echo's coming back. Echo is on its way. All right? Don't worry about it. There's nothing else. I mean, if you want to run out there into the dust and the sand, you can, but you'll probably get lost. Radios, messaging radio signals, even when you get out of line of sight, are iffy out here.
Does anybody else have kinesics?
I do.
Sure.
At a rather
Yes.
high level.
Yeah, take a look at him.
All right.
That is a 48 out of 80.
Okay. Seems credible. That's when a voice, like, you all hear a voice. Please help.
Like, nope. Nope.
From which
No.
direction?
The box.
Nope.
No.
Please help me.
I am hiding on the vehicle on the side that will block me from the sandstorm, but just keeping an eye on that box.
Help you do what, Delta?
That wasn't me. That was it.
It.
Yeah.
Don't engage.
Yeah, you may want to shut off audio receptors right now. You may want to mute yourself. Mute your pickup. Look, man. By the way, yeah, in full body armor you can't see. You don't even know if this is biomorph or a podmorph or a synthmorph. Full heavy armor, customized to conceal appearance. Delta is, I don't know. I don't know. This is why we're paid a lot of money to do this.
I'm just going to turn on my iPod Mark 500 and just, like, nope, listening to music, not listening to this thing.
Okay.
So,
Are you still looking at it?
no, I'm looking away from it. I'm actually looking back towards Delta. So,
Okay.
but I will say, I don't trust this on there. So
You shouldn't. It's very untrustworthy.
no, but I'm not really trusting you in this case right now as well, especially since that's like this immediately started. And have you guys disclosed that you were seeing things out in the
He went out and checked, and there was nothing out there.
that we may be having audio-visual, some sort of audio-visual hallucinations based on that thing. So, are we good? That's like, in this case, I think that that's like, it would be in our best interest maybe to have somebody else move out, because it was just Echo and Delta, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So let's be absolutely clear about one thing. I, as a living being, will hallucinate. you, as a living being, will hallucinate. Nil, who is a dragonfly morph, which is a robot, does not hallucinate.
Unless algorithms are introduced in some fashion.
Or unless he's hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would mean that he would have been hacked at the same time that we all share the same kind of hallucination. Is there anything that we know of that can do both of those?
So
anybody have any Titan interest abilities? Or you could call in a favor from long range.
Okay. Or actually, would a biotech... can I do a biotech roll to see if there's something similar to that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I've got a good deal of research rep.
Yes, 15 out of 70.
One vector or basilisk hacks, which can be any sort of sensory data. So Titan weapons can simply hack you if you perceive certain sounds or video or visual images.
Yep, so...
there's also digital viruses. There's also nanoviruses, which are little nanomachine swarms crawling over you. Do any of you have nanodetectors? I don't think any of you do.
Let me take a look and see.
I think those are only for... it's a sort of a custom piece of gear.
I have electrical sense.
Electrical sense?
Is that sensitive enough to pick that up?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
All right.
Under face dealer, there is a nanodetector.
So I should have that because I picked up the face.
Yeah, so... okay,
yeah.
Yep, if you have it, so...
Perception?
Detects nanobots. Let's see here. Roll 40% or under.
I failed my perceive roll.
Yeah.
I rolled a 79.
There's too much dust active.
Huh. Weird. This thing that works to detect tiny little things
98.
isn't detecting anything with all of these tiny little things blowing around us.
Weird.
Shocking.
9 minutes left. Is anybody looking anywhere near the box, or is everyone purposely looking away from the box?
I'm looking away from it, so...
Okay.
No.
I'm going to be looking at the box just in case the thing slides its way open and climbs out.
One of the buttons, on the keypad on the side of it, starts glowing in a weird pattern.
Just one button?
Yeah. Oh, now another button. Now another. Another. It's a very weird pattern. Almost hypnotic.
Look away from the pattern.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the top of the box and watch to see if the thing is opening.
Okay.
That's the only observation I'm giving the box is the top opening?
Okay. You angle yourself so you're on the opposite side from the keypad. But the thing is, the keypad is emitting enough light that you can see the light because it's light. It radiates outward. So you can indirectly see the light.
Lawrence.
Yes, I'm not looking at it, by the way.
Okay.
Very good.
Or listening. I'm listening to music, but yes, you can talk over the music. Yes.
Lawrence?
Yes, I'm...
Do me a very big favor. If you see me reach anywhere near that box, I want you to chop my hand off at the wrist.
Okay, will do.
What are you doing, Nil? Are you watching it?
I'm watching it. This is really unnerving to me. And I don't know better than to just keep an eye on it in case it does something more freaky than it's doing now.
Actually, Nil, it's probably a good idea. Nil, would you be so kind as to watch that part of the horizon there? Because if you're looking that way, and I've got Lawrence looking this way and also keeping an eye on me, I will keep an eye on the box. Delta will watch that way for Echo to come by, and then SAIROC can watch the last direction, and this way we will be able to tell if anything is coming. And only one of us has to look at the box.
Yes, that's right.
None of us have to look at the box.
That's true.
There was another contact. Nil will turn around, hover a bit, and keep an eye on the horizon.
Okay. All right, so you're the only one looking at the box. Mm-hmm. Okay. 9 minutes become 8, become 7, become 6.
I'm going to start regretting that.
5, 4, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. You Echo. Oh, Delta's. Oh, I'm picking up Echo. It's faint. He's making. I'm telling him to hurry up. And that's when all of you are put on a new TACnet with person 5. Person 5's hello.
Shut myself down out of the TACnet.
All right, everybody give me real time 3 sec.
Yep.
48.
Okay.
Regular
That's a
fail.
nope.
Odd 4 out of 75.
Okay.
I've got 70 out of, that would be 30.
All right. That is 3 if you fail.
3 stress.
3 stress, 3 lucidity.
I'm starting to think, how's our machine doing? How's our little machine bugger doing over there?
Where
Not
is
great.
this?
Probably.
How's your brain?
Have you taken trauma yet? That's getting over your trauma threshold. Have you? How much have you lost?
My
All
trauma threshold is 5. My stress is 8.
All right.
Yeah, I've taken
So
trauma.
you've taken trauma. That means you're at negative 10 at everything. You can spend a point of moxie to negate that if you have it. If you have moxie.
Temporarily or for
For
how
24
long?
hours. Or until you rest.
Oh, well, I have no moxie, so...
Yeah. All right. So shit's not great. This is very stressful. Remember the Titans, you know, how they ate all of Earth? And,
No, don't remember the Titans.
Yeah. It's Echo. You can see the rover just starts fucking gunning the engines, just heading down there. This is like an off-road vehicle, armored, 6 wheels, and it's just sailing over the desert, and then just Tokyo drifts right next to all of you. The dust it kicks up is purposely angled away from the box. But then Echo goes to the box and removes a glove, revealing a fleshy hand, and then he touches the box.
Okay, no. Damn it, yeah. I'm going to have to do that. I don't want him touching that, though.
He's touching it, and Delta doesn't shoot him or anything. And then after like 6 seconds, he's like, all right, it's fine. We're good.
Did you interact with it?
Yes.
How are you not affected?
I don't know how to deal with it.
Would you care to elaborate?
No?
Kinesics.
Okay.
He seems trustworthy. I rolled an 83 out of 80.
Well,
So
it's good enough for you.
Okay, well, I apologize in turn right now, but considering that you say you know how to deal with it right now, I insist that you might be able to enlighten us about this. It's like before we go any further.
We can go. Let's go. Let's get it to the site.
You know, he's got a very good point. Let's get it to the site.
I like this
The
plan.
sooner we stop messing with this thing, the better. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody take your places and let's get out of this.
I don't know you. I don't want to know you. You don't want to know me. Let's just get paid. Let's get this to the site and get paid, and then we can leave, and you never have to deal with this shit again, because you clearly aren't cut out for zone stalking.
The man
So it's
has
like,
a
hey,
wonderful
like, hey,
point.
Actually, we're like, why aren't we driving? We're good. Let's
Yeah,
do this.
they hook it up to your car. Yep.
So,
No hunters.
I mean, you could do something if you want, but like they're both heavily armed, and you guys aren't like combat characters.
no,
Hey there,
I-
Uber Steve. Would you activate and drive us
No.
to this location?
I mean, you do outnumber them 2 to 1, so
No,
you got that
that's not
going.
bad, no, but no.
Well,
And how far are they going to be falling behind us when we are going through?
they'll probably be a couple hundred meters behind.
Okay.
Uber Steve, proceed.
Like a couple, like not obviously tailing you.
Okay. So,
I mean, they can. If something happens, they will definitely move up, and they're in a
You keep hitting the
rover,
button.
which can Bigfoot its way over other vehicles if it
Yeah.
needs to.
because eventually we do have to try to see if we can get this away from them. So,
No, your job was to fuck up the warehouse that it's supposed to
okay.
go to.
Oh, you're supposed to go. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was,
and quite
for some reason, I was
frankly,
thinking at the next one.
If you want to fucking steal it, I guess, but like,
No.
No, I was confusing that with them.
Yeah, yeah.
okay, show of hands who wants to steal the thing.
yeah.
Show of hands who wants to be rid of the thing as quickly as possible.
And I know
The
that I-
eyes have it. Let's go. Uber Steve, take us home.
All right, Uber Steve is driving you.
Nil is hovering a good distance away
Mhm.
from
Yeah.
the vehicle.
It stopped glowing, by the way, and the key panel reset itself.
Say, would you like to join my iPod V500 to get some music and not listen to anything?
Good heavens, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's like nice, soothing metal music, synth metal music. Here we go.
Do you happen to have that Synth Bowie Is There Life on Mars cover?
I said synth metal. I don't.
Wow.
Not synth Bowie. I
Whoa.
left that album back in the
Isn't that just Bowie, though?
Isn't the national anthem literally everything from Spiders from Mars?
Yeah.
The planetary.
Besides, Bowie lives on.
Yep.
And I mean that literally.
I mean, there are plenty of biomorphs that are stylized to look like David Bowie. That's a whole category of morphs.
Like
There are
3
little
hypercores that are probably run by Bowies.
Well, there's pirated Bowies, there's licensed Bowies, there's artistic interpretations
Probably
of Bowies.
Bowie AIs.
There's definitely Bowie AGIs. There's also Bowie people who think they are Bowie.
Oh, that's the Diamond Dogs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's the Spiders from Mars. There's many Bowies.
What about the Starmen?
There is a category of morphs called heirlooms, which are designed to look like celebrities, and oftentimes actually use DNA. There are many Bowie morphs that claim to have stolen DNA material from his family or something.
To be fair, he spread a lot of his DNA around.
Yeah, so who
It's
knows?
quite possible that quite a bit of it got off Earth
Mm-hmm.
before the fall, much less after the fall.
Your job: go to get whatever's left of David Bowie's pants for DNA samples.
And even then, we're like, ew.
Yeah. Well, on Earth, everything is ew and deadly.
At the same time, just like, even this is like, dude, I would rather touch that fractal over there.
Before we played that game before.
Well, actually, or like
yeah.
it might be showing the fractal refuses to touch this.
Fair enough. So all of you head on your way. So if you want to set up the ambush, you need to tell one of the gangs, leak some info to a gang of Olympus, so they can set up an ambush.
I'll do that with criminal contacts.
Go ahead and give me a knowledge. Well, knowledge check will tell you who to contact. You have to call in a favor.
Security ops.
No, not knowledge games would be the one to do it. So make the knowledge.
Well, I was going to go up rep.
Okay, yeah. Make your rep. Yeah. Minor or moderate or major.
Minor.
Okay, that's a plus 10 then.
61.
All right, 61. You sort of spread the word a little bit with a minor favor, so maybe some people will show up. Maybe not.
I was going to actually use minor favor to get a contact and then try to do a persuasion.
Yeah, if you all do minor favors, they'll definitely cause a scene. If somebody does a moderate favor, you'll get a specific gang interested.
Moderate it is then.
Okay.
Which rep is that? G?
You could use G, yeah. G would be the obvious one. That's a base, and don't forget to mark off how much favors you use on the little check. That's what the check marks are for next to your thing.
Yeah, you get 3 minor, 1 moderate, 1 major.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it. All right, roll that beautiful beam footage, as I would say. It's a space phrase now.
So,
31?
All right. Yeah, there is a gang. They are called the Spiders from Mars. It's a minor gang, but they are zone stalkers as well. And you give them a juicy lead.
Hey, Ziggy.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you for just a
Yep.
second?
And they are like, oh yeah, the Night Cartel's a lot weak now. There's blood in the water. They've been hit all over the place, all over the solar system by fucking ID crew. So yeah, look, we'll keep your name out of it. But thanks for the tip.
Oh, obviously.
In fact, we'll give you a reward for that, and that will be So
I'll be honest, the reward that I want the most is nothing.
okay.
I'd want nothing from you for this.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute proof that you did not hear this from me.
Okay.
That's all I want. Just a favor to a friend.
Question: how attached are you to that car?
Uber Steve?
Yeah.
We just picked him up this morning.
Okay.
To be fair, if we wanted to, we could just copy him into another vehicle.
I mean, it's Uber Steve is in all cars.
yeah, we're fine.
Yes. We're literally not attached to him in any way.
Okay. Everyone give me a perception check. And this is sensing danger or ambush or whatever.
I sense nothing.
Okay. Somebody had something that helped them sense threats, or maybe that was the other.
No, danger sense. That's another one of those,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't have that.
I think that was JB's character. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have 36 out of 60, so I made it.
Okay.
I rolled a 54 out of 55.
Okay, so 2 successes, 2 failures. So the 2 successes, you pick up different things. Oh god, they're going to ambush you right outside the house, right outside the warehouse. So, you could. So your choices are evasive maneuvers now and avoid damage. But how did you know? It looks very suspicious if you jump out now and abandon it. or B, commit to be a real character actor and not know. I sure didn't know about that ambush. See, I got shot. So you have about couple seconds to decide one complex action. And obviously your muses warn the other two, but because they didn't make their check, they spend their complex action like, oh shit.
We're getting ambushed by the gang that we were.
Yeah, there's people set up along the side of the road. You see multiple drones that are concealed as like garbage cans and things.
It's the plan.
It's
the plan.
Yeah. So you have you have an action. You don't have much time. Yeah. So what is your action?
But it's all drones, so it's all synth morphs.
Well, there are people too. It's a complex street, but you see multiple weapons pointed at the warehouse and at your position. This is going to be like a big ass. They're making a major play.
I'd like to use one of the illusion base to see if I can get the people.
You right now can't tell who is async or who is biomorph and who is not. I don't think your slides work on.
I don't think they work on.
Yeah.
I would assume right now that they're not working, so that's why I was trying to target what I see as biomorphs, or at least pods.
I don't think targeting. Let's see. You may not target synthmorph bots and vehicles.
Yeah, because I was.
Pods and biomorphs with cybernetics are less susceptible. -30 modifier against them. So you can't. You made a 36. I will say you do see one person there who is a biomorph that is clearly a member of Spiders from Mars. He is got a heavy weapon concealed and is getting ready to somebody with some sort of two-handed weapon pulling it out, getting ready to shoot. So you could use illusion on him and that would substantially weaken that. So let's see here. So hold on, let's see, what is the range for that?
I'm just going to say over the TACnet to everybody.
I don't think that's a touch one. It doesn't say.
There we go. Side range. Side game is
once they shoot us once the initial volley is over, we can scream "fuck this" and ditch.
No modifiers. You must be within 10 meters. Okay. For every 2 meters beyond that, apply a -10 modifier.
Okay.
So you're more than 10 meters away. I'll say you're 14 meters away. So you're -20
modifier on it. Okay.
-20.
Okay. So.
All right. So it's opposed. Let's see. Side that targets another character's carries and pulls will against the defender's will. The winner. So.
Okay. So. And
roll your skill versus their
my side, so versus their mental defense. And, question on that too: if I need to, could I spend Moxie on that to reroll?
Yeah, you can spend one Moxie on. You can only spend one pool on any roll before or after.
Okay, so could I spend the money that to negate the -20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll spend that right now to negate my and roll on my full 80.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 3 made it.
Okay. Let's see. They critically failed. So,
Huzzah!
Yep. There is a cost. So whenever you use, two things happen. First, your infection rate increases by that slide's infection modifier, which is 8. So let's see. Second, the exovirus makes an infection test. As the infectee, the player rolls this test. So the infection test. So equals your current infection rating. So what's your base infection rating?
My base infection rating right now, let's see. I wrote it down, so I'm just trying to remember where it was. So.
It's...
infection rating 2, but I do have dominant strain, by the way, so that should help with the test. Let me see. I forgot
what does that do? Okay. We're learning game mechanics.
Yeah. We are learning
things.
It's
been a while.
Dominant strain, dominant limb, blah, blah, blah. He's using his crazy power on him. So yeah, what's your base infection rating?
My base infection rating right now is 20.
Well, now it's 28.
28? Okay, let me check.
So...
Page 73?
Page 73 for that? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Trait, yeah. So you receive a +10 modifier to resist the exertion virus infection. Increase this to 20 if its infection rating is 33 or more. So
it's if you roll an 18 or less, you'll be infected.
Okay, so
all right.
And all right, so I make the roll on my infection test then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You need to roll it. Yeah.
89. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good. So
Let's see here. Yeah, you pull off the slate, and then without any negative effects.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy sees a Titan blowing up in front of it as his leader. So
Okay, so one person starts spazzing out. That was your action.
Yeah.
And you lose one of their targets. What are you going to do?
As I said, I'm just basically tagnetting to everybody. Remember the plan. They're going to shoot the vehicle. They're not shooting us, except incidentally. After the first volley, we can scream, fuck this, and run.
Okay.
But we still need to push for the warehouse.
No,
we
you're
don't.
in front of the warehouse.
We are in front of the warehouse now. As soon as they start shelling us, we ditch.
Also, this is a Titan artifact, so it's going to cause this whole neighborhood to go under quarantine.
Which is like all we need to do is and then let's not be here when that happens.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
So
Skid of the do, skid of the D.
For some reason, I thought we were trying to get inside and retrieve something while
We
we were
don't need
there.
to retrieve anything. We just need to make that a
We're just causing
not
chaos.
good sight.
I mean, you could have
Okay.
looted stuff there from the side if you wanted to, but I mean,
Well, do
But it's
we
not
really?
vital.
I mean, yeah, it's not. You didn't
Isn't
really
chaos-
find out what was even
Isn't
in
chaos fun?
there. All right, so this is initiative time.
Honestly, I was hoping for a little bit less chaos than this, but
You did choose the high chaos route.
we did choose the high chaos
Yeah.
route.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta have chaos.
All right, so there's a lot going on here, so I'm just going to roll for groups. Everyone make an initiative check. That's a D6 plus your initiative
Shit.
modifier. So,
And where do we find our initiative modifier?
It's a derived stat.
yeah,
can you look it up, Tom?
Yeah.
it's on your character sheet right here, David.
But
Well, if he has seven,
but it doesn't have the
The formula.
he doesn't have it
Yeah.
calculated.
Right, that's why I was asking for the formula. I assumed it was a derived stat of some sort.
Mm-hmm. 12 for me.
Okay.
Your initiative stat is equal to intuition plus reflexes divided by 5.
All right. Anybody else have an initiative?
9.
7 and 6 is 13.
Your initiative modifier is 7.
20 plus 15 would be 35 divided by 5 is
7.
Yep.
plus a roll of 6 is 13.
Very good. Tom?
8.
8. Okay. All right. So before we start, actually, there's one thing on initiative 2. If you spend a point of vigor, you go first. Or if you're hacking, you can spend a point of insight to go first. Is anybody doing that?
No.
I'll spend the point of insight to go first.
Okay.
So,
All right, your initiative is now 15 for mental actions.
okay. I'm going to go ahead and try an infosec on their drones to see if I can take them over.
Okay. It's a brute force hack, negative 30.
Oh, negative 30? Okay. So,
You can spend a point of insight or a point of flex to negate the modifier.
flex, I'll go ahead and spend a point of flex to
Sure.
negate that one, so. Failed at 96, so.
Okay. They detect you and counter hack.
Okay.
Go ahead and make another infosec check.
Okay. Alright, so let's roll again. 70 right on the dot. So it succeeded.
Okay. You resisted?
Yes. So.
All right. I mean, he was in post check, but yeah.
Okay, but yeah, no, I'm like.
All right. Yeah. So that was your turn. The Zone Stalkers go next. You see, the rover starts coming in, heavy, and one of them gets out, and fires a seeker.
God damn it.
A mini missile flies through the air.
Fucking hate seekers, and you know this, Ross.
I know. Well, they're really effective weapons, especially from long range. Coming in from downtown, blows up a drone. It's okay. They got plenty of them.
As long as it's not flying at me.
Yep.
You ever seen a neo-avian having to flee from a goddamn seeker? It's amusing.
That's a way of describing it. Zemo.
What is the biggest cover inside of Uber Steve?
Inside the vehicle itself?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a sedan. It's like a roomy car. Like, they're firing at you from buildings, like, facing, like, okay, so you're on the street. The warehouse is to your left. You're about to pull into it. Like, it's got a big cargo door that's opening up, you know. On the right are buildings, like other warehouses and other, like, industrial type buildings that go up several stories. People are leaning out of the windows with weapons and that kind of thing. So they're above you. You're basically in a perfect ambush scenario.
Is there an alley?
There is an alley.
Is it an empty alley, or is it full of people with...
There is an empty alley, yes. There are multiple alleys. You see one that is empty.
I'm going to ditch to the empty alley.
You can give me, if you want to spend your quick action, you can do a perceive check to double check to make sure there's nothing bad in there.
I will spend my quick action to perceive it.
And then you spend your complex action to make an athletics check to get the fuck out of the vehicle and get to cover.
Right. So that is a 26 on my perceive.
Yep, there is nothing there.
Beautiful. Athletics. That is a 16 out of 45.
Okay. You are out of the vehicle and in the alley. Says you lurch out of the way. Good job. So that was 13. Next up is 10, which are the spiders. So the people in the car, give me fray checks at half because many things start exploding and shooting you. The hitch between your vehicle and the...
Stick to the plan.
You're attack netting that in there. Okay.
Holy shit, 24.
Okay. Well, 24 succeeds, but let's. They may still succeed over you. I will say the composite thing is 70.
Not a problem for me. I failed.
Well, you're not in the vehicle. This is for the people in it. All right. So they still hit you with a 56.
Of course they do. Why would I ever
All right.
succeed?
Go and fray half.
No.
All right, so you both hit with a variety of shrapnel and explosions and things, which I will condense into 3D.
I'm flipping them off, not you, by the way.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see here. So that is going to be 16 damage to both of you.
Okay.
You can use your full kinetic armor on that.
Okay.
It is not armor penetrating.
All right. So for that, that was...
So your smart clothings, I think, have like 1 point of armor or 2 points.
Yeah.
And if you have an armor vest, that gave you an additional 4. I'll double check. Armor. Smart clothing actually doesn't give you any, but armor vest, which you both have, give you 10. So you both take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
All right.
As you were hit with shrapnel and other things. The box has been cut off with a laser. I mean, the hitch to it is separated from the vehicle, and the vehicle itself is heavily shredded. So you probably should get out of there. You're a dragonfly flying above, so you're not armed with anything substantial. So So they're not really giving a shit about you. The warehouse goes next. Both of you give me another fray check.
Why bother?
I can't actually make it. I don't have fray, so
Okay.
I'll try, but it's just the reflexes.
No, it's like why bother making a success?
Mm-hmm.
No.
The first one actually failed. They rolled a 60 out of...
And I'm sorry, was it still at the half that we had the last
for
time?
range.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Tom, they actually failed both checks. The warehouse returned fire.
I'm actually like, why bother? Like, fuck, that's all.
Let's see here. So that was
Dude, we're trying to flee, but initiative has kicked us in the nuts.
Yeah.
What was their initiative? Because I was like at 12, unless it was just...
You went first.
Was it the mental action, or did I get the physical action afterwards? So
You don't get both.
Okay.
You sat and hacked.
Okay.
You were thinking. You were sitting and you're like, hack the planet, hack the planet, hack the planet.
Okay, I thought that it was a mental action first, but I guess that's different.
The mental action still takes up time.
Okay.
And this measures time. So, you spent the time hacking.
No worries. It's different, so.
We're learning. Yeah, so that was 9. Nil, you get to go at the same time as the warehouse.
Okay. Can I flee while trying to hack some of the drones just to direct them away from us?
It would be brute force hacking, then they would peg you as an enemy.
Okay. We're trying to get away, so I'm just going to...
Sure.
I'm going to provide aerial support. I'm just going to fly up.
Okay.
In a way.
Yeah. as far as they're concerned, you're just a bystander. They're focused on the package and everything around the package. If you're not near the package,
I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Now, Lawrence, it's your turn.
Yeah, I scrambled the fuck out of that vehicle.
All right, give me an athletics check.
72. Make it.
All right. You get to the. I assume you go to the same alley that Zemo's going. Yeah. All right.
I am scuttling like a motherfucker.
You scuttled very well.
You like that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So new round. Let's see here. SAIROC, you're up first.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of the way now. So.
All right, athletics.
Yep, this is not a character.
Mm-hmm.
10. I actually make it. So
all right, the three. Yeah, you all get away. Like no one's going to stay and fight you. You don't get paid from the Martinellis, obviously. So yeah, you don't know what's in that package.
Win some, lose some.
Oh, darn. I guess that job went pear-shaped. I guess we're going to have to get another job doing something entirely different.
Yeah.
Flee from this random thing that we had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
At all, in any way, shape, or... Okay, that's good enough. Let's get the hell out of here.
You mean we don't get to find out what's in the box?
you really don't know.
That's fair.
We're going to put a crank on the side of it, and it's going to go...
I think you do want to know.
I think you want me to know.
Just looking at the box drove me mildly insane.
Just touch the box. It's fine.
I know.
Come on.
I'm not opening the Ark of the Covenant.
Mesh with the box. Network with the box. Plug into the box.
I have literally given you an async SAIROC. That is the best present I could have given you.
I know. But yet you won't... Yeah, all right, fine.
Aaron,
I'm
you've
sorry.
given him an async SAIROC as a gift.
I gotta save this. I can't
also-
destroy the first game. I can't
You
just do
also
that.
kind of put it on a shelf and go, no, this one's a collector's item.
No, it has
You
to.
can't
it has
play
to
with it
be.
yet.
I argue against that because I've already used the ability so far. And successfully, by the way.
Yep.
Nil needs therapy. Let's hijack a comet.
Yeah, I did lower the amount of damage you took because you did take out that guy with the heavy weapon.
Yeah.
So
You know-
it would have been like 5d10 for hit if he had gone through. So
No, Nil is right. Nil does need therapy. Let's hijack a comet.
all right. So you get out of that Olympus. That neighborhood is shut down for a riot and security reasons. But other than that, yeah, you guys get away. Nobody seems to. You lose the car, obviously, but
Boober Steve, no.
Yeah.
We backed him up
Oh, well, let's go.
in a tiny flash drive because that's all he is.
wow. So yeah, so if you remember that for that job, you need to first get some shit to bribe the other Comet crews with.
And I think that I can call on a small favor. Would this be... can I burn a favor? The small favor through FREP for that?
FREP?
To get the party supplies, the party poppers, the favors?
Well, these are blue-collar workers in synthmorphs. They can't use drugs. They can use narco algorithms, but they're not going to use them. I mean, actually, yeah, you could give them narco algorithms as a bribe. So, yeah, you can do that. Sure.
Or would it be CREP to get the appropriate things to have the slightly better tools?
Yeah,
Or a bit
that
of
would
both?
be C-Rep. Fame Rep is would work as a bribe, but wouldn't give you any benefits on the job. But C-Rep would give you both.
Okay. Actually, I was going to say, if I spend both of them, can I get both the tools that we need and the poppers?
Sure.
Okay. So doing that.
Well, you make the skill checks first. And make the rep checks first. You have to make the rep check to use the favor.
Okay. So for C...
You get a
it's
plus 10 for a minor.
that is a 12 on the C,
Okay.
which is well within.
Okay, so you get one piece of gear to help you on the job. One type of gear. So that'll give you one type of benefit. So you could get maneuverability gear, i.e. like little better class rocket packs and shit, so you can maneuver around easier in space.
Yes.
You could get better safety equipment, or you could get better comet mining equipment, like better class rockets and guidance systems.
Nils?
So you get one of those.
Or Nil, which one of those do you want? You call the shot on that one.
The rockets sound good. I was actually going to suggest that what we don't have, I could try to... I have a medium fabber. I don't know if that's enough to make advanced tech that we need, but I was going to actually try pull our rep to get the blueprints that we need to craft them, if that's possible.
With the medium-sized fabric, the main thing is that is actually its size, that you can build very large things very quickly. You could build with that, the easiest thing you could build would actually probably be the safety equipment, because that's like cabling and stuff like that.
Okay, so get the thing that we can't build ourselves.
So that's either better maneuverability for yourselves or better maneuverability for the comet chunk. That remember, you need to basically hijack at least one rocket to strap on to your comet fragment. You need to cut off a slice of the comet big enough to take out the clubhouse without being so big that you cause an incident.
Yeah.
Put a rocket to it and shoot it down there.
I'd go rocket for the comet.
Okay.
Guidance for the comet.
Done and done.
Okay. So you get party poppers, which are narco algorithms, which are essentially program drugs that robots, synthmorphs can use.
Mm-hmm.
You send them to the miners as a thank you. Give me a persuade check or actually, do you have provoke?
I've actually got persuade, provoke, and I've also got deceive.
Well, provoke will help you earn their trust. Be like, hey,
Come on!
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Earn their trust.
And that is an 11.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Out of 55.
Yeah.
Critical success.
Yeah, it turns out you know one of them. Someone who has stopped being a member of the hyperelite to really... No, he's basically doing like the equivalent of being like the rich kid who goes up to Alaska to work on a fishing boat. Like, yeah, that. Only now he's working on comic cruise. He's trying to find himself.
Wait a minute.
His name is Bradley.
Oh, you're calling yourself Bradley now.
No, that's what he was in the hyperelite.
I mean, I thought I remembered you as Bentley.
No, that was a nickname. My birth name is Bradley.
Huh.
Yeah,
it's been ages.
You got really high. A lot.
I did.
You did. You're doing well, man. I thought you'd get permanent, neural damage with all that.
Oh, the brain is a much stronger thing than you think, Bradley.
Apparently.
In fact, try some of this.
Awesome.
You want a transcendental experience.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to be the next Kerouac. You remember, one of the classic masters, truly trying to find myself. I'm going to write this road trip book about this road trip. I'm going to record this road trip XP about traveling across all of Mars.
And part of that includes going up into the skies above. You're going to be doing the Roughneck road trip, too.
Exactly.
Amazing.
You get me.
I do.
Yeah.
I very much get you.
Want to hook up?
Maybe later.
All right. Oh, yeah, no.
Sorry, Bradley, we got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I didn't know if you're down with robots anyway. I mean, you got to live the thing. You got to be part of the member of the clanky masses.
Well, you know me. I have lived and done a lot, but at the moment, I am totally not working with the Martian government in any way, shape, or form, and we have absolutely nothing to do with something that is going to happen to a group of Barsoomians that are
fucking... those insurgents, I hate them. They destroyed my dad's cyber paper mill. My dad's cyber car dealership.
Wait.
Dealership.
Wait. What about the space lumber business?
Space lumber business is fine. That's an orbit.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if you want to get a space Porsche, don't count on it. So,
as long as the space.
Just remember, we are totally not. With
all right, so the crew's totally on your side.
In any way.
So you get a better class rocket for the, an upgrade to the rockets that you use to maneuver the comets into position. So it'll be very easy for you. You just have to get these industrial lasers, cut off a slice, and then program the rocket to go this vector, this direction, blah, 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 and then down. Okay. So now it's a physics word problem. So that's the problem. None of you are fucking physicists, are you? So our rep could be good.
So, and I actually can call on them. So,
or you both can. You probably both need to do this.
Yeah. So,
how big should this comet fragment be? And then
where do we aim this comet fragment?
Yeah.
So you get size.
I would say 2 monitors to get that.
2 monitors would definitely do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just about to ask what the difference is, but moderate sounds good.
So, yeah.
Moderate also gives you some deniability as you sort of obfuscate it enough that people aren't going to tie it to a particular incident.
Yep.
Crit success.
And Jesus. 52 out of 60, so made it.
Which was yours?
22 under 50.
No, which of the two problems were you trying to solve? getting the comet size or getting the
comet. I was taking the comet size.
Okay, so you get there's a AGI researcher who's programmed himself to be a task hedonist, which means he is obsessively focused on solving physics problems, and he just loves this shit. And he just spits it out.
Hey, I've got a new one for your comet crash list.
Well, it tells you, it's actually very. That's a very interesting problem because it's highly illegal to drop so close to Val's New Shanghai. Very illegal. Actually, serious prison terms if you are caught doing it intentionally, or possible deletion because the terrorists try to get on Comet Cruise and do that. But there's a way to arc it. So and then he goes into the blah blah blah. It looks like it's not even going anywhere near there, but it arcs around the entire planet in a decaying orbit, and then boosh. Excellent.
That's good to know.
Also, because it's in a canyon, it will be, it'll contain the blast, thus minimizing damage.
Excellent. Just want to cover all of our bases, just in case some accident happened. We want to be able to anticipate these things before a disaster strikes.
You just have to program it just right, exactly as I do it. And, of course, it depends on the firmware of the rocket itself. So you have to adjust the settings based on the firmware of the rocket itself. So
easier done than said.
Yes.
While you're talking to Smashy, you might ask him, hypothetically, of course, if we were talking about a model ZX2375-04 Comet rocket.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, of course. This one that we totally don't have sitting right here in front of us in the extra crate. Wink.
So for the other thing, the thing is, obviously the physicists would know how big to make the comet to destroy blah, blah, blah. The problem is you have to figure out, your problem is actually you have a very detailed 3D scan of the comet you're going to be working on. You have to figure out how to get a thing of that size, slice it off on the edge. So you have to basically plot out where to make your cuts.
Okay, so...
And basically figure out the procedure for strapping a rocket onto it, and then, basically you have to make it look like you're strapping a rocket on a larger thing, and then, oops, we kind of made it kind of teared off by mistake, and no, the rocket's malfunctioning, and it just shot off, sorry, we fucked it. We have spare rockets, though, so basically you have to, because you got a 52 with superior success, you figure out where to make your cuts, and how to do them. So, does anybody have guns as a skill?
I do.
Okay.
Pistols?
Just guns.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I got pistols. I've got guns.
I have it at 30.
I got it at 80.
So guns does work for beam weapons, and so this will be a guns check to cut off. Basically, you have to cut it and make it look like an accident, like it tears off by mistake. You were trying to cut a larger piece off, and then, oops, it just, the rocket just took onto this much smaller fragment, and the rocket's malfunctioning,
So I might have another way around this.
So I've got it at 80, so why don't I just do that?
Yeah, well, this is what you have to do when you actually get into orbit.
Okay, so an alternative idea, too, and again, giving us the potential for plausible deniability here, is finding somebody else who does this for their job, and I can introduce an error into their thought, telling them that this is the size and angle that we need to cut it at.
Yeah,
Except for the fact that we've got mostly pods here.
It's actually mostly synthmorphs.
Okay.
In fact, there's no biomorphs.
No biomorphs.
You're the only biomorphs are you guys.
Okay, so that's fine.
Because nobody's going to risk a biomorph in this kind of super risky duty. Now, you could talk someone a biomorph. There is a biomorph supervisor in a vehicle nearby. You could talk him into going out on the comet and making a cut. But the thing is, it's just making a guns check. So you could get David to do it.
Okay, that's fine. So it was predicated on biomorph, so that's fine.
Yeah. You can do podmorphs at a -30, but it's...
no reason to risk that, sorry. And I have to rest to get my infection rating down anyway, so...
There is that, too. You all sign up for it. You all sign your liability waivers for it. And then you're strapped into the orbital elevator. And it's about a 6-hour trip up. So, actually about 12 hours, I think.
Let's break out those cards again.
Yeah, basically. The miners, some of them indulge in the narco algorithms that you gave them. So, yep. And, but they've got plenty of time to recover.
Can I get a hit off that?
You could. Do you want to?
Yes.
Which one do you want? The upper, the downer, the left?
No, you only got one. With the minor favor, you only got one. Let's find out about drugs. They have stats. Use all the drugs. All right.
Hoppers, choppers, Cindy loppers.
All right, so this is a link called Link State. It connects you to an XPN via other Link State users and samples their XP feed and randomly accessed memories. The effect is a mind-blowing mixed sampling of people's lives mashed together in a sensory soup that hits the mind with a euphoric rush. You're catatonic while under the Link State's effects. So, yeah, go ahead and give me a will save.
That's success.
All right. Well,
43.
Yeah, you have a great time, and you don't worry about it. So, yeah.
Do I forget about the box?
Nah. No. Actually, yeah. While you're going through there, you're one of the memories is eating at a night's somebody else's memory eating ramen noodles at a street stand in Tokyo. You could just feel the intense heat of the ramen and the coldness of the rain as it's raining. And then suddenly you're sitting on the stool on the ramen stand, but you're in the Martian desert, sitting next to the box. Hello.
Eating soup, looking forward, not at the box.
Why?
Just having a good time.
Why am I here?
Why are any of us here?
Why am I here?
Eating soup, staring into the middle distance.
Okay. All right. So you have a bit of a bad trip there
with someone else's hands.
Everybody, every once in a while, you are it's there every once in a while. Hello. Who are you? Hello. Hello. Smoke bomb. Hello. Oh, you're in orbit.
The dragonfly's wings are twitching intermittently throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
Actually, at that point, well, during that too, you wake up and you find me actually over you, constantly adjusting the wings, and so unconsciously, no, not that way. Maybe if we're up here, that can be there. Oh,
leave
you're
him
away.
alone. He's just having a trip. He's
a small
fine.
town. He's just a small town girl.
No, I'm trying to see if we can increase
Living in a lonely
increase
world.
the lift on here. Obviously, if we can maybe
Are you a gym
more.
hacker though? Do you have any hardware robotics?
I don't, but I have the architect strain.
I know.
But I'm just.
Well, actually, no. Give me one times 3. Yeah, you didn't. You actually blacked out.
Okay.
More shrimp.
20 out of 75. I made it.
Yeah, it's not the first time you blacked out. It won't be the last.
Yeah.
You're just
Shrimp.
fondling some dragonfly wings. It's fine.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It happens every once in a while if I'm in a stressful situation with an ability. So pay it no mind. I apologize.
You grope synth morphs.
I try to see structures
Well, who doesn't?
and seeing how to improve them.
Very.
Do you want to make another will save?
Sure.
Please, just ask next time.
Let's see on that one. 75 on the mark, so.
Okay. When you say structures, suddenly you have a random memory of you inside a lab, thinking about the structure of a certain of a DNA of something, and you're synthesizing something, and this is a place you've been to multiple times.
So it's not the.
In your morph. This is recent.
with it.
It's just like a freeze frame of like you were in a lab like 2 weeks ago.
I've escaped the syndicate over 6 months ago.
No. It's your lab.
My lab?
That's all you get.
Where? What? Just. No. I can't go back there. I don't think that should be right. I don't
you built that lab. It's your lab.
Oh my god. Nope. I have to find that. Why is it here?
Are you saying this aloud?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So. Why? That would be the most case right
all
now.
The case morphs, all the cheap robots are like, you guys
Are you
work?
Are you under stress?
I'm distressed because I'm thinking it's like I recognize my lab, but I don't recognize being there. Why would I not? Why would I be in my lab?
You don't have a lab.
Hey, lab.
Do you need some focus?
No, and I wouldn't trust you to make it unless I give it to me unless I was making it myself.
Right. So why don't we just do the job that we got paid good money to come up here into space to do and make sure that this comet goes where it needs to? Huh? Huh? Finger guns. Finger guns.
No.
That is exactly what the job is. We're here to make sure this comet goes
right.
where it's supposed to.
Who's got free fall?
Oh, I do.
No.
Oh,
I've got it.
It's going to be a fun day.
Okay. You don't have to remember. You don't have to make skill that by default. You only have to make skill checks when something goes wrong. Or
And
when
what
you
are the odds?
Yeah. So, do you have free fall?
I do not.
Okay. So,
But we do have safety cables.
you all have safety cables, the standard safety cables, the cheap safety cables.
I thought we were fabbing up the good ones.
No, you fabbed up a better rocket engine to manipulate the. You did. You did say that. What hardware skill do you have?
I have hardware robotics. I also know about nanofacturing and engineering.
All right, give me a nano. Or is that your muse?
No, that's me.
Okay. Give me a knowledge nanofabrication.
37. Good.
Okay. So with a 37, you made better cables. So you don't have better maneuverability here. So you have this cheap little thruster rockets on your vac suits. You're all wearing standard vac suits at this point. So basically, you are all assigned multiple jobs, and you get to work as there's a little mining robot AI that appears in your mesh. Says, "Hello, welcome to the Planetary Consortium Terraforming Authority Mining Operation 53693333. I am your tutorial manager. Press X to get started." Yep. So first, you have signed a liability waiver waiving all safety tutorials. So go ahead, activate your mag boots, and step onto the rig. So basically, you get on the from this, you get on the shuttle. To the shuttle, you then go out to a spar. There's basically a framework of basically metal poles and everything that is attached to the comet. It is a big comet. It is 500 meters across, and you're just supposed to shave off a sliver of it, about yay long, and yeet it into Mars at your enemies. To do normal stuff, you don't have to make skill checks until something goes wrong, as I said. But you also have to. So at least one person has to go out and get in a strange position, i.e., a position to make the check. So that's a free fall check to get in a position to make the cuts, and then somebody has to make a guns check to cut off the thing. But that's the other thing is everyone give me actually. There's also timing. The workers trust you, but how quickly do you want to do this? This shift is going to be 16 hours.
Who had free fall in our group?
I do.
Yeah.
Not me.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Because you have guns.
So you all step out onto the comet itself, or on the spars around it. So basically, imagine a sort of kind of like a jungle gym sort of framework around a comet, and you're above Mars. And you have safety cables, of course, but it's very minimal. There's a little bit of rocking. There's a little wear and tear on the spar. Also, there's no vehicle nearby. It's going to take some time for there's one shuttle between multiple comets working it. So, yeah, you're kind of out here by yourself, along with the other 8 miners, comet crew. Not really miners, but yeah. So you got to think about: do you want to wait until the very end to shoot it off? Because if you fuck it up, there's probably going to be some sort of incident report, or you just want to do it really quick and then just like wait the rest of your time out.
I think I'd like to do it at the end of it because it's like, well, there's not much we can do about that. Next shift's problem.
Okay.
And if we don't tell them it happened, maybe they won't notice.
Well, I mean, there'll be some sort of automated report because, again, AIs are going to run automated. Oh, a rocket went off engine, but if it's sufficiently minor, nobody's going to look at it.
Yeah.
Pay attention to it. You get enough Windows alerts about various things, you start ignoring all Windows alerts. So it's the same thing. Like, oh, comet error. It's like, oh, fuck this, I don't care. All right, so you all start working. And it's, everyone give me Psalm times 3.
Okay.
How good are you at this physical blue-collar work?
I'm excellent at it.
Okay.
Yeah, 16 out of 30.
33.
Okay.
Does the minus 10 include aptitude rolls?
Yeah.
Okay, then I failed.
All right, you fail. You take 2 points of damage. Armor does not negate. As you scrape and bump your morph's a little delicate. Weirdly enough.
So,
yeah.
critical.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, you realize one of the workers is still using link state while he's working. He's still on the narco algorithm. Still getting high. Making mistakes.
Right.
Minor ones, but they're...
Do we still have our private TACnet going on here?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I pay attention to Johnny over there. Like, he's on stuff.
He's on the narco algorithm.
Yeah, he's on the shit. And he's making mistakes. Look at him.
Johnny 4 or Johnny 5?
No, it's just Johnny. They are people. They're not. Yeah. These are mostly indentured workers or people. Who,
I was gonna say, not according to the PC.
So,
well, they're poor. That's why. Not
get near them. So, because do you attack? Or is XP share still part of this,
Sure.
or would that be an automatic one? Would that be considered automatic?
You can upload XPs. Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, I forgot your name.
No.
Sorry. Next Nil. All right. So, I'm going to ask you, go fly around him, record that, and make sure the XP is ready when we need to utilize it. Since you can, since you have higher rank for that.
Nil understands.
Good.
Okay.
Nil will do this thing.
But yeah, so I guess I'm a Bruce Springsteen lyric. He's working.
Yeah. All right. So that was about hour 8, halfway done. Hour 9, the mistakes add up, and Johnny fucks up enough that a cable it goes snap when it shouldn't have gone snap, and it knocks Bradley off the comet. Is anybody going to try and save Bradley?
Free fall.
I'll try.
All right, give me a free fall check.
Spend a point to get a +20.
Actually, no, you have Vector. Vinny,
That's right, I do.
Yeah, you could make athletics checks as you to fly.
Yeah. Okay. Athletics.
Yeah.
Well, I failed.
Okay.
No, Bradley.
You're flying away from the comet. It's not good. So give me will times 3.
Yeah, I make it.
Okay. They'll probably rescue you before you run out of oxygen, but you're going to be out in space for hours.
I can fly. How does that work in space?
You can make an athletics check to rescue one of them at this point.
That's not better.
Well,
Here, take
I
this.
literally can't succeed With a -10, it's physically impossible to succeed.
Well, what? Because let me see. You're doing an athletics check.
Your athletics is 10?
It's based on SOM. Yeah, 10.
Okay.
With no skills, that's 10, -10.
Yep.
Would you get not a piloting roll, but just more for the flight on that though?
If he has a pilot.
Pilot space.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. All right.
And going to prioritize you, Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
+1.
Okay. Basic success.
Yep.
You get Lawrence, and you can start reeling him in. Are you going to go after Bradley as well?
If Lawrence is being reeled in all right, then yeah, I'll go after Bradley.
All right, give me another check.
That's double zeros is high or
crit
low.
success.
Good
Okay.
job.
All right, you get Bradley back. Very good.
And we probably endeared ourselves to the crew at this point, so.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone cheers. It's a very good XP. It's a very dramatic rescue. Who would have thought someone bringing a fucking dragonfly up for this work would be useful? Damn, that's fast.
That's tentacle up.
Yeah. So good job. And yeah. So the work continues. All right. So now it's your opportunity. Someone has to make a free fall check to get in position, or you can make a free fall check for someone else to get them into position.
Would you care to throw me to the right spot?
It's definitely not throw. Don't throw.
Yeah,
it's carefully hold on to and
like-
fly.
Would you free fall me to
Be
the
the-
right
It's
spot?
Fire
like,
me, boy.
it's like, my friend, let my tentacles embrace you.
You are the wind beneath his wings,
Yes.
but in space, so it's not that all. But like, yeah.
It's like, let my tentacles embrace you. You like hentai?
All right, give me a free fall check.
I'm going to spend a point of
Vigor or
yeah
flex.
to get the plus 20.
Sure.
So it's at 70.
Mhm.
13.
Okay. Now give me a guns check.
You can do it.
Of course I can. That is a 58.
All right, with a 58, it happens just as you programmed it. You cut it off as you're trying to make to make a bigger fragment.
Hot shoe!
Yep. And oh no!
Actually, can we both start
Oh
screaming?
wait, someone needs to make an interfacing check to program the rocket correctly.
You got that?
Got it. What's your interface at?
My interface is
I bet.
50.
70.
80.
All right.
Okay, if you want to do that, you can.
You're the man now, dog.
Actually,
Oh,
you can
effectively 70.
Aaron,
but
you can
still.
assist him for a +10.
Okay, so so
Oh, yeah, he's at
full
70
straight to a
right now.
90. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for him. Yeah.
Yeah, so full start to a 90, so you're good.
All right then.
Thank you.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
85. That's good.
Yeah. So with that, you program it correctly.
By the way,
Off it
can
goes.
we start using to see
Was
those
that a
screens?
plus 10
Oh
or
my
plus
god, what
20?
just
Plus
happened?
Plus 10.
Yeah,
So
You and me.
It was actually-
Yeah. Make a
Yeah, so the
deception
plus 20
check,
would
yeah.
not be able to.
77 out of 80.
And 59.
All right.
We
The two of
are
us.
convincing.
What the hell's going on? And then we start going to exactly what we want. Tell them what we think we want them to think happened.
Yep.
It's all screaming incredulously.
Well, basically, you roleplay being just incompetent enough that they fire you, and just to get rid of you.
Actually, because you said Bradley was.
Bradley's fine. You
Wait, he
saved
was
him.
the only human, or is he one of the clanking masses?
He's
He's one of the
Okay, never
countries
mind.
He's actually rich. He's just.
slumming it.
yeah. Okay, so.
But you get fired as your punishment. So
that's okay. We got good footage.
Yeah, but no other action will be taken against you. They certainly think you're such fuck ups that you can't possibly be terrorists. Because you just hit a fucking canyon near New Shanghai, not,
I mean, if we were terrorists, don't you think we would have hit something important?
Yeah, exactly. You could have hit New Shanghai with that.
By the way, because of the trauma penalty, I had to spend an insight to flip that. So
Okay. Well, that's how it works.
Yep.
Yeah, you all do that. So it takes you another day to get back home.
Down the elevator.
Yeah, down the elevator, and then from Olympus back to New Shanghai. But you completed your job. A bunch of you can ask for reputation in autonomous networks, cryptocurrency or credits. Cryptocurrency is like for extropian, shady shit. Credits are for planetary consortium spin. You can get a mix of it, but you all get a nice paycheck from all this.
So get some rep for the 8th seat.
You can spend your things on that, so you'll get some res points. I'll calculate res points on the weekly group. There is one bit of last business, though. So as you meet up with the other 4 members of your cartel, as they tell you about their travails taking out the server room in Noctis, and then I threw the guy out the window. Was that when you stuck? Yeah. So we faked fighting. It was great. And, you have a bit of
be incompetent asteroid workers.
Yeah, so all 8 of you are there. You're having a good time. Tell us about the party, by the way. A little how would you all celebrate your first successful job?
First, I'm catering it myself, and I'm all about just your good old fashioned God-fearing, drinky, musicy party kind of thing.
Yeah. You could have some narco algorithms too for the
synthmorphs, like on a tray.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hooking us up with the special effects, lighting, music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Were there any other biomorphs in the other group? So I forgot.
Certainly, JB is a remade.
Oh, the remade. So yeah. So
yeah.
I'll ask if they want me. Want any normal drugs. So to get that, but. Otherwise, and also if actually with his character right now may be joking around with the illusionary power. So again, saying you're infected, it can't get that bad. So
yeah, all right, yeah. So you're all having a good time, and it winds down. But then the next morning, you all have a common. The building has its own muse, essentially. The super, we'll say. His name its name is Jiro because he dreams of sushi. Of course, yeah. Jiro has a message he sends. It sends to all of you because you're all members of the 8th C and you all have admin access to the building because it's a shared expense. I regret to inform you that this morning, during the routine security sweep that I've been programmed to do, I detected a surveillance device, a small recording device. I went back to my security logs and I verified that it was not there until there is a 1.2 second break edit in my security surveillance logs last night. There was no external, no one gained entry to the building. It was totally sealed in order, private party. All the security shutters were sealed. All the active security measures were on. The only 8 entities in the building were you, and of course, and for the AGIs who had access to the bots who were using them as physical things. So, my only conclusion is that one of you planted the surveillance device. And that's where we'll end. Mm-hmm. As I will now introduce a new mechanic for this campaign, the traitor mechanic. One of you is a traitor. You may not even know you're a traitor, because this is Eclipse phase, and brain editing is weird that way. Remember Total Recall? Yep, you could be Quaid and not even realize it. So
look in the mirror. Am I a traitor? I have to say if I'm a traitor.
So, one of you is doing something against the interests of the group. Keeping tabs on them. Why? Who is behind it? Who knows? I will make it interesting. There will be a mechanic to where your character can borrow pool points from the traitor pool. But anyone can do that, and only one of you is actually a traitor, so you're just leaving pool points on the table if you don't borrow from it a little bit. But everyone has a chance of being the traitor.
So,
done.
I'll ask you more of the mechanic later on.
I'll have a full write-up for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was curious about that. I like that.
I love that idea.
Yeah. So
this is going to be great.
Yep.
As soon as I figure out which.
So everyone is you're maybe waking up from hangover, and then Jiro tells you all that there's a surveillance device.
So it's not Jiro dreams of traitors. So
he didn't dream. He doesn't dream yet. Jiro, tells you
Jiro
that,
dreams of
that there was no way an external extruder could have gotten in unless he was so compromised that every single sensor and defensive system, which you all set up and had multiple layers. So basically, you all turtled the building up, locked it down, so you didn't have to worry about any of that shit. And also, some of you are a little paranoid after the whole fucking Titan artifact nonsense.
Some of us? I think all of us.
Yeah.
Plus the gang war going on. Plus you did just hit 3 Night Cartel safe houses. So, the only one of you put that in there. And, but yeah, it was just barely obvious. He barely noticed it. Jiro said he was very thorough. That was the only reason he noticed it. So.
Traitor implies loyalty. Loyalty implies affiliation.
No,
affiliation implies identity. And Nil has no identity.
Device indicating that there is only one traitor.
Well, yeah.
There's only one.
All right, so we'll end on talking about that.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.